certified on the track.
All right. We are back in the building. Whew, what a day, everybody. Just want to say thank you just for tuning in, first of all, to this podcast and lending me your ears, your space, your time. I truly appreciate you for that, and I will always let you guys know that, because you don't have to listen to this podcast. But if you're tuning in, which I hope you are, I want you to know that I'm always going to be upfront and honest. I am going to do my best to bring you the realest and rawest part of the journey that I'm on. Obviously, we're talking about, just personal development, self-development, hopefully on a path to self-actualization. I think that is the crux of what this is about, trying to understand, okay, how do we go from where we are to just a place that's where we want to be or where we want to go. And I think we don't take enough time with our own internal dialogue to really see, okay, what is the programming that I'm telling myself about my own self. And I think this is hopefully one of those episodes that resonates with you guys. I mean, I've been on my journey, my personal development journey, I want to say since about 2000, maybe 7 or 8, I think. If you followed me or if you've heard my story a little bit, I've been in Seattle since I was about 23. So that's kind of where the journey of, like, literally, imagine a 23-year-old quest. I'm out of my element. I'm in Seattle by myself, just coming out here to work for Boeing and as in corporate America as a young kid from Chicago in the 80s. That's just straight shell shock. I don't care where you come from. If you've never been away from your family or away from, things that you love and care about for a long, extended period of time, and do it by yourself, that's tough. And the reason I say that, and I start with that, is because there was some beliefs I had about that particular move and that transition from something that I was comfortable with, which was, okay, living at home or living in Chicago. I was living on campus for my 5 years there, which was another beautiful experience, which I'll talk about on another podcast. But I didn't understand what being on your own really meant, right, until I moved out and moved halfway across the country to Seattle, which was, first of all, one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. But now, of course, looking back, hindsight, that was one of the most, I think, path-setting and monumentous decision for my own life, where I could have easily reverted back to, nope, I'm not going to take this opportunity because of fear. Nope, I'm not going to take this opportunity because of how I feel as far as being comfortable. Right, like there was a lot of things, now that I reflect back on it, there was a lot of things that I just didn't grasp, and I'm thankful to my future, or my former self, to have made that decision, because I look back, I'm like, whoa, a lot of 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds were not thinking of, how do I go do something on my own. The plan was to stay home and stack money for a year, but obviously God had a different plan for me. And so the reason I wanted to start with that particular story and lead with that is because limiting beliefs are, I think, the thief of our joy, along with comparison. And until I've sat down, by myself and really thought about, okay, what do I really want? What do I want for my life? What do I want for my family? As far as what I can control, right? Like, I can't control how other people think, but the limiting beliefs, they come from a lot of different things, I believe, and it comes from usually when I talk with my clients and people that want to come coach with me, it's very clear that they were sold a bill of goods, if you will, and that was through all channels, whether it be social media, whether it be parental influence, whether it be just familiar influences, right? Like your family. I mean, how they were raised and how they perceive themselves. Like all of this stuff that we don't even know is happening when we're younger is getting drilled into our minds. And the reason I just really enjoy learning and trying to understand my own self better is because you start to shed some of those beliefs. I think as you understand, okay, what was that belief about? Like, where did that come from? You start to really ask yourself these questions, and I think with that, I'm going to segue into just some of these questions that I ask my own self, right? Like, people ask me practically, like, what is your routine like? How are you able to quote unquote manifest these goals, these dreams of yours? And I'm like, well, first of all, belief, and also shedding beliefs that didn't serve me, meaning, oh, well, because you decided to take a choice or, make a choice to move from Chicago to Seattle, you know, some of my friends or who I thought were friends would say, oh, you're a sellout or whatever, whatever that means to them. Like you left us behind or something. And I think for me that, those friends are not around anymore. I mean, they were friends, but friends wouldn't not support you on your journey. I think they would maybe try to understand and not question, but just try to help you solidify that in your mind. So some of those sort of quote unquote friends, they are not around anymore. But the limiting beliefs that were there, I believe, were just fears that were, projected onto me as a young child, or fears that were projected onto me as a young man growing up, because whatever my vision was, maybe they didn't understand it, and maybe they had gone through some pain, trying to accomplish their goals, and out of love, maybe they think it's telling you this as a young child or telling you as a young person that don't do that. It's scary. It seems scary. But you as the young child or the young person that has the idea, in your spirit, like we call it our intuition, whatever you want to call it, our third eye. I think people call it that. You can call it whatever you want, but I believe it's our innate intuition, especially as we mature, to know that there's something in us that maybe everybody's not going to understand. And that's okay. That is really okay. And that is where the work has to start, right? Like believing, first of all, in your own visions, right? For your future, yourself, your future self. Like, what is that? And honoring the commitments that you make to yourself as it pertains to those visions and those goals that you're trying to set. And that can be hard, honestly, coming from a place of scarcity, a place of, well, I see everybody around me not doing things in a manner that's, with integrity or honor. They're trying to quote unquote rob Peter to pay Paul, but literally rob Peter to pay Paul. So when you see things like that around you, it could deter you from following your own dreams and your own wants. And that's where I truly believe coaching, whether it's with me or whoever, I think just in general, coaching, it plays such a significant part in the journey that I've been on, and hopefully the journey that you're on. Just having somebody in your corner that you can trust, that can, help you and guide you, not tell you what to do, but challenge you in a way that's healthy, challenge you in a way that's going to motivate you and help you decide and help you develop that internal governance. And that's what it's about, really, developing your credos, your motto. Like, what are you going to do with your life? How are you going to move through life. And until you shed those limiting beliefs, that once again, until you take inventory of, okay, where are these beliefs coming from? I'll give you an example. So my wife and I, we're able to be blessed with a impromptu trip to Hawaii, and I'll talk about that later in some other episodes. But how that manifested itself, that was something that I could never have imagined. But the main point is that there are things that we're going to do together that we've never done before. And some of that stuff is kind of scary, right? Like, we're thinking about going parasailing. Um, I don't know too many people from where I come from that can truly say they've gone parasailing or have thought about going parasailing. So I'm just throwing that out there, not to boast and brag, but what I'm saying is that had we kept beliefs in our mind that we couldn't do certain things or we weren't deserving of certain things. Now, this is after we've put in the work. This is after we've developed the foundation to be able to make these type of decisions. But it comes with work. It comes with shedding the belief of you're not worthy enough to do these things or to have these things or to be this thing that you would like to be or to become this person that you would like to become. You can do that. But it starts with believing first in who you are as a person and believing that the universe, God, Yahweh, Buddha, whatever you believe in, as it pertains to your supernatural, if you will, something that goes beyond us. If you can believe in that and harness that energy that the universe is trying to give you, then I truly believe that there is nothing that you can't accomplish with hard work, time, community, and the right mindset. And so I believe the way to achieve that is to really shed these limiting beliefs that we all have in our minds daily of, oh, I can't start that business. I've never seen this done in the Black community before, so it can't be done. No. Listen, doesn't matter where you come from. If you don't believe that it can be done, even for a sliver of a second, you're not going to be able to generate the internal energy that you need to keep going forward, because things will get tough. That's just a part of life. Things will come at you, and you have to have the understanding of yourself, your strengths and your limitations, if you will, and be honest. And from that point, now you can make a choice. And we're going to talk about decisions and choices a lot about on this podcast, because I think that's what's going on in the world. People are scared to make choices, especially about their own future. And that's something that we can all work on. We can work on developing a mindset of trusting ourselves and believing in ourselves, and not proverbially throwing a monkey wrench in our own plans and self-sabotaging, which is a whole nother podcast that we'll talk about, because those limited beliefs are always going to be there. But I think the noise gets dimmer and dimmer as you begin to believe in yourself again, and you begin to have that internal voice that's louder than that, oh, I can't do it voice, or why they have money over here, or they have resources over here, they must be happy. Where's the evidence to that? Right? Your happiness starts from within. You can't give something that you don't have. So if you're expecting somebody else to give you something, you have to be able to give it to yourself first. And that belief comes from you. Also, that limiting belief comes from you. So what do you choose to decide to believe is up to you. I choose to believe that, yes, things will be tough, but we can make it through if we lean into our communities, we lean into ourselves, and we believe, and we believe, and we believe, and then we put forth the effort that belief dictates and needs to manifest the life of your dreams, because it can happen, guys. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be painless? No. But when you develop your own internal system of self-control, of how you're going to handle and manage conflict that will come, that is the beauty. And that is where you can see, I have a barrier in front of me. Here are the steps, 1, 2, 3, that I take to circumvent that barrier, to blow past that barrier, to blow through that barrier. And it starts with believing that you can do it. You can do it. Not me do it for you. Not your parents do it for you. Not your significant other, your partner. They can't do what you can do for you, meaning believe in the person that you see in the mirror every single day. Know it's going to be tough and know that you can make it through, because guess what? You're here now. And I promise you, you've made it through some things that you thought were tough. Reflect on that. What happened back then? What happened that made it tough? And now looking forward and looking presently now where you are, hey, we're here now with breath in our bodies, with the opportunity to do something different right now. So what do you choose to do? Do you choose to limit yourself with beliefs that were taught to you that you had no idea were being taught to you? Or do you choose to believe something different starting today? I am worthy. I can be what and who I want to be. And it starts with deciding now. You guys have a great day. Love you guys, and thank you once again for just allowing me to be here with you in this space. And I promise to bring you, just straight talk, real talk, and lessons that I've learned, and hopefully you can take with you and maybe share with your friends and others and let them know, hey, check me out. I'll have all the information in the show notes as things are progressing, guys. Like, once again, you're with me learning and growing, so I appreciate you. And some of these will be amazing quality audio podcasts. I know I have a super producer, Mark U certified, who's working with me, man. So I appreciate you once again. I'm always going to give you a shout out, bro. So thank you, and everybody for listening and being tuned in here. So let's get it going, man. Come on, let's go. You got this. No more limiting beliefs.